Okay. All right. Well, first of all, tonight I want to congratulate several of you. We had a great March month, and I know it's March Madness for many of us, and I'm so excited to congratulate each one of you that hit your goals. We have tonight some different ones that we want to bring to the forefront, and we want to celebrate. You know, the beauty of this business is so much of it is based on your efforts. I love Bonnie, who recently she said in part of her iStory, she said it's not based on your time as much as it's based on your efforts, because we learn how to manage our time well. And I thought that was a great way to say what it is that we get to do. So you guys, we want to celebrate with Nancy, who was the top personal sponsoring with over 7 new customers that were over $150 in sales. So congratulations, Nancy, to you. I see your beautiful face there. And then we also have, in qualification for district manager, we have Bonnie Kessner, who has used the product for 10 years and has recently decided to change her expenses into an income. And I have been able to partner with her, and we have just had a blast together. And she's out of Oklahoma, and I'm thrilled to celebrate her as an in-qual for district manager. Jill Reynolds out of Texas, who is a rock star in her own right. And she is actually in qualification for district manager. I know these girls are going to be finishing strong. And then we also have Karen Street out of Texas, who has gone into qualification this month. So congratulations to all of you. And then we have several who have hit their district manager bonus this month, which basically means they've gone above and beyond, and they've added $200 extra into their paychecks. So Anna, Kimberly, and Melanie, congratulations on that milestone. You guys, this right here, what you're looking at is people who are in motion in their business. They are creating a commotion toward their next management level. And this is what you call business growth. Because nothing happens in this business without getting in front of people, talking to people, and sharing with people. And their names are on this screen for that very reason, because they took control of their business and decided to make it what they chose for it to be and put action behind it. So congratulations to each of you. I am going to go ahead and ask all of you, if you have just hopped on and joined us, if you will go to the bottom left of your screen and make sure that you hit the mute option. That will actually mute out all background noise, and that way we have a really clear recording. You may keep your video up, or you may mute out your video. It's totally up to you, but we definitely want to mute out our background noise for a clear recording. So we are going to go ahead and dive in and get started. You guys, I was, over the last several days, you know, obviously I knew it was my turn to train. And I had been praying about, you know, God, what do you want me to train on? Give me a topic. Because I know there's just so many new people that have joined our business. So whether it be, you know, looking at Consultant 101 type of training or whatever that may be, I was just really hoping that God would place that on my mind and on my heart, and that it would just begin to flow. And that's exactly what he did. And so I'm going to bring to you tonight a training that I feel like we all need to hear. And sometimes we need to hear it over and over and over. And so I hope that as I share tonight, this training will speak to your heart. I hope and pray that it will ignite a fire in your heart and in your belly, that you will realize at the end of our time together what you have in the palm of your hand, what you have in way of this business opportunity, and how this business is doable for every single person that says yes to their dreams and no to their fears by joining us on this Arbonne journey. So I have chosen to title tonight's training, You Equal Success. Now, what we're going to be talking about is, what is success? How do you get successful? And we all know, just in the headline here that success is not by chance, it's by choice. It's not by chance, it's by choice. What we also know is that success is not luck, right? It's not luck. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just show up on your doorstep. It's not for the lucky ones, you guys. Luck has nothing to do with success. We also know that it's not genetic, right? We're not born being successful, right? It's not genetic. It's also not overnight. Success does not happen overnight. And we say in Arbonne all the time, if it's easy, it's sleazy, right? We don't want any part of that. So we know that success takes time. It takes concentrated time. So it's not going to be overnight, especially if you want it to last. And then success is not by chance. And we talked about that on the front screen. But it's not by chance. It doesn't just happen for a few and happen to, a select few and not others, okay, without a reasoning behind that, which is what we're going to break down tonight. So it's not just by chance, right? It's not a roll of the dice. And success, you guys, is not a business alone. We can have an Arbonne contract and we can be a consultant in Arbonne, and as wonderful and awesome as we know Arbonne is as a business and the health and wellness industry and network marketing industry that it's a part of, Arbonne is not a success as a standalone, right? It's not a success by itself. And so we're going to dive in and figure out what success looks like. I want you guys to take in some of the Eye on Arbonne pictures here. This, for those of you that are brand new to our team and brand new to Arbonne, when you reach the vice president level in this business, they write a story, your story. And basically they put it on a 4-fold pamphlet. And what you're seeing here is some different individuals who have achieved that national vice president level. Now, this is just a small group of those individuals. But what I want you guys to understand is that every one of us, these people included that are staring back at you on the screen, every single one of us have the same $79 startup kit. We all have the same business plan. The policies and procedures plan, the qualifications, it's the same. We all have the same compensation plan. We all have the same tools that are in front of us. We all have the same products that are available to us. So you guys, if we all have these same benefits, then what we can only boil it down to, you guys, is the only variable in your success and with your success is you. You get to be the determiner of your success story. You get to decide that, just like these individuals that are on your screen have done for their families. So what is success built on, you guys? Well, first of all, we know that success is built on your past learning experiences, right? Your learning experience serve you. Okay, your present learning experiences serve you, and your future learning experiences serve you. Now, I have chosen to call them learning experiences, but some may choose to call them bad experiences, good experiences, failures, successes in their life. But all of that pulled together, you guys, creates your success. It's what your success will be built on, the foundational structure of your success, okay? It's basically what's going to help propel you. Now, if you'll notice, and I heard this recently, actually it was a friend of mine actually posted this on her Facebook wall, and she said her daughter had come home from school, and they were just talking for a little while about failure. And she said, well, Sally, what do you think failure means? What do you think that actually means? She said, well, my teacher says that failure stands for first attempt in learning. And her mom said, way to go, Mrs. Smith, or whatever her name was. She was like, I'm so glad and fortunate that my children are being taught that failure has a purpose and that it's just simply the first attempt in learning. You guys, so whether it's good experiences, bad experiences, or indifferent experiences, everything that you have gone through in your life will serve you on your success track. We also know that it's during these experiences that character is developed and that we are going to continue to develop. Okay. We also know that coachability is a big part of that, our eagerness and our willingness to learn what it is that we need to do to improve and better ourselves. We know that success is learned and then it's earned, right? And we also know that the you that we are now and the you that we are becoming are going to contribute to the success in our future. You guys, so what I want you to understand is that the skill set, to simplify it, the skill set that helped you become successful at some other endeavor in your life, I want you to bottle that up and carry it forward. I want you guys to have some reflection time. I want you guys to think about over the course of your life, regardless of your age, I want you to think about what is it in your life that you have been successful at. We've all been successful at something in our life, whether it was a successful mom, whether it's a successful student, whether it was a successful teacher or nurse or accountant. Think about or an athlete. Think about in your lifetime what it was that created success for you, or what it was that you were successful at. And if you were to kind of strip that away and think about what was it that I did during that time in my life that created that success for me? What is it that did I do, did I become, or did I learn along the way that created that kind of success? You guys, your vision, you had a goal in mind, right? If you were successful at something, there was a point on that success journey that you had a goal in mind. You were on a mission. You had a purpose. You were committed to seeing that vision through to the completion with time and with effort. Most likely, you were resilient and persistent in the pursuit of that, right? You were all in. You had a no matter what it took mindset and mentality, because if you're going to be successful in life, you're going to have the highs and you're going to have the lows. And it's what you do during the down times that's going to stretch you further and challenge you further along that success journey. We also know that you have to be intentional, right? So when you trace yourself back, I'm certain that you were intentional with self-discipline and you worked and focused on actions that were going to move you in the direction of that goal, right? You may have even had to sacrifice certain things and give up certain things in order to be disciplined with actions that you know were going to serve you and actions that were going to lead you closer to where you wanted to be. You guys, think about that for just a moment. And I want you to kind of relish in that time in your life that you were at that success stage or on that success journey with whatever it was God had planted in front of you. Now, we're going to break this down, you guys. I want you to think about, maybe in your younger years, if you wanted to be a successful student, what did you do? Well, for those of you that maybe were thinking, well, I was a great student, I'm sure the goal was there. I'm sure you were committed. You gave time and you effort, and you maybe studied longer and harder than maybe other people who didn't do as well, right? You were willing to sacrifice nights out with friends to maybe study for a test. You were committed. I'm certain you were resilient. So the first time that maybe you didn't do well on something, you probably didn't bow down and quit. You probably persevered, you probably were persistent, and you probably pushed forward and worked harder. You probably were very consistent with your study skills and your study habits. You were probably very consistent in the time commitment of showing up to class, and you were intentional with that self-discipline, working on action steps that were going to move you closer to getting those A's and being the student you wanted to be, right? It's no different. If you wanted to be a musician in life, what did you have to do to be a successful musician? You guys, break it down. You had a goal. You had a vision in mind, right? You were committed to practicing when people weren't looking. You were practicing in the quiet moments so that you could perform at your best level when you were in public. You were committed to the actions needed. You were resilient. If one point in your musical journey, if you didn't do so well at a concert, you didn't throw your instrument down and say, I quit, I give in. No, you probably geared up, worked harder, spent more time, was consistent, persistent, and pressed on, right? If that was a true goal, that's what you would do. You were intentional with self-discipline towards the action steps that were going to sharpen your skills, that were going to make you better, right? Same is true with an athlete. You guys know where I'm going with this. If you were a successful athlete at some point in your life, or something that you're striving to be, you had a vision, you had a goal in mind, right? You were committed to taking the action steps, showing up to practice over and over and over again, being resilient. You know what? We don't win all the games. So the times that maybe you didn't win, you didn't give up. You worked harder. You shot more baskets. You spent more time on the court. You did the things you knew that were going to sharpen you and serve you and help you to be better. You were intentional, right? You were intentional with the pursuit of becoming the best athlete you knew you could be on that court, and self-discipline. You know, you see the little quote over to the right of the screen. It says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Now, how is that relative to Arbonne, you guys? For every person that you choose not to share Arbonne with, whether product or whether business, you're going to get a no. It's a no to begin with. And you're going to miss out on all the yeses that you could potentially get if you just put yourself out there and talk to more people, you guys. Here's the bottom line. And we miss every opportunity that we don't take. We miss every opportunity we don't take, you guys. You've got to be willing to put yourself out there and do more so you can have more. And you can see this gal making a shot on the court. If she wants to do better, she wants to get better at shooting, what does she have to do? She has to shoot and miss, shoot and miss, shoot and miss, so she can figure out what she needs to do to get better, aim better, higher, longer, and to get her skills down. Arbonne is the same way. I love to run. I'm not a marathon runner, but I love to run. It's something I enjoy doing, you guys. And I made a little analogy here. If you look at the runners here, if I wanted to become a marathon runner, regardless of my age, regardless of my size, regardless of anything else that some people may use as an excuse, if I decided today I wanted to be a marathon runner, if that was my vision, if that was my goal, I could do it. I could absolutely do it. And every single one of you on the call, regardless if you love running or not, if you decided today, if it was important to you to become a marathon runner, you could be one. There are marathon runners of every age, every size out there. You could be one. But what would you have to do in order to be a success at it? You couldn't just go out and enter a marathon and expect to be able to endure the entire race by just showing up one time. You have to be willing to show up on a daily basis, on a consistent basis, on a persistent basis, and you have to be willing to show up even when you don't feel like it so that you can build the skills necessary to get great at running, to be able to endure further, to be able to endure longer, and to be able to finish that race. I cannot expect to finish a race that I haven't prepared myself for, right? I have to get out there and run to be able to get good at running. I love the analogy. I compared, if I want to be a 5K runner, that's equivalent to district manager. I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to work hard to achieve that. And then if I want to put my sights on being a runner that can run a 10K, that's like becoming an area manager level. How do I have to up my game? from district manager to area. Well, I've got to be willing to do a little more, right? I've got to be willing to share a little bit more and to put myself out there a little bit more, to spend a little bit more time on the phone, making sure my activity is consistent. And you can see the half marathon runner. It's a continual process of challenging yourself and stretching yourself, because every time you do that, you get better. You become better. And the Arbonne, it's the same way. The more we do, the longer we stay, the more we endure. By putting one foot in front of the other, the closer we get to our end goal of success in this business. Now, obviously, we're going to bring it back to Arbonne, you guys. It's no different. I don't care what you have had your sights on in your lifetime, whether it was being a musician, whether it's being a runner, a basketball player, maybe being a great student. Arbonne is no different. It takes the same skills. It takes the same mindset. It takes the same character that got you successful in those other areas of your life. It takes the exact same thing to be successful in Arbonne. So if you are a success in another endeavor in your life, I am telling you right now, you can be a success in Arbonne. The same skill set, you guys, just carry it forward. Just carry it forward and be disciplined and use those same characteristics that built you success in those other areas into your Arbonne business. Create a vision. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? And then have follow through to see it through to completion. Be committed through your time, your effort. And I'm speaking to the choir because you're showing up tonight to get trained. But committed to the process, committed to what it takes to show up so you can get better and sharpen your skills. You've got to be resilient. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs on this success journey, just like there is on any other success journey. It's in those down moments that you're going to stretch yourself and challenge yourself and become better. That's by being resilient, putting one foot in front of the other and not giving up. Being persistent and consistent in your action steps and intentional in the actions that you need that are going to move you closer to the goal. So I'm going to ask you now, if you were to look at your calendar right now, if you were to open it up, does your goal of being a success at whatever level that looks like to you for your family, does your calendar match that goal? Does your action steps look intentional? Does it look like you've been self-disciplined? Does it look like it's being persistent and consistent and committed? Does it look like what it should if you wanted to be a success in Arbonne? If it doesn't, who can change that? You can. You're the only one that can do that. You're the only reason you are a success in those other areas of your life. You didn't earn it by it being genetic. You earned it by going after it with everything you had, right? You were the reason you were a success in those other areas. And you will be the reason that you are a success in Arbonne. And your calendar will be a reflection of that commitment. It will be a reflection of that goal and that vision that you have. So if your calendar is not shaped up the way you want it to be and it doesn't match that, go fill in the gaps. Go figure out where you want to spend your time and your attention so that they match one another. Okay, so that is a true reflection of what's in your heart and what's in your mind for your family. So you get to choose what you want to be successful at. You know, we teach our kids from a young age, right? We teach our kids whether they want to be a cheerleader or football player or an actor. You've got all kinds of different activities on this little screen. I want you to think about your own children if you have children, or maybe nieces and nephews if you have nieces and nephews. You know what? The first minute that they show an interest in something, what do we do as parents? We go sign them up, right? We go enroll them in that activity. Why? Because they're not going to get good at it or experience it to get good at it if they're not out there practicing, right? If they're not out there learning the skills to get good at it, right? So we as parents, what do? They have the vision. They've shown us the interest, so we go and re-enroll them. And then we as parents, we will drive them every single week to get them personal lessons, to get them to their classes, to get them to their practices. We are intentional about how we spend our time and effort on helping them become trained, right? And to build those skills. We also know that when they have down days and bad moments, maybe they fall when they're doing gymnastics or they don't win a tournament, or they forget their lines in the school play. What do we tell them? Do we tell them, oh, honey, it's okay. We just won't do it anymore. It's okay. We don't need to do this. Let's just quit. It'll be all right. No, we teach them from the get-go to be resilient. We teach them, you know what? We just know we need to work a little harder next time. We just know that we've got to pick ourselves up and go back out there, right? We don't push our doubt on them or encourage them to quit, right? We encourage them to stay the course. If that's what they want and that's what they desire, we inspire them, we motivate them, we encourage them, we build them up. You guys, that's what we do. We teach them that resilience. We teach them to be consistent. They just need to work harder, maybe spend more time, and be more disciplined. We teach them that practice makes perfect by making sure they don't miss a practice, right? Those are the things we teach our kids from an early age. So why would we expect anything less of ourselves? Why would we expect anything less of ourselves? Because here's the bottom line. Our kids learn what we do, not what we say. They learn what we do, not what we say. Don't expect less of yourself. You guys, it's not the average person that becomes great. It's not the average actions that create success. It's those that are willing to go above and beyond, to stretch themselves, to challenge themselves, to better themselves. Those are the people that are going to make a true difference in this world, you guys. The average is overrated, you guys. It is a crowded place to be with average people. It's crowded, okay? It's overrated. Average people do enough to get by. They just squeeze by. Average people have no ambition. Average people will sacrifice their time and their efforts from the people they love the most to live small, to live paycheck to paycheck. Average people follow the crowd. They do what most people do, which is live average. Average people is really, sadly, what you see all around you. You drive down the interstate and you look from car to car to car on any Monday morning in rush hour traffic, and what do you see? You see average people going to work, spending the majority of their day, 80% of their day, with people that they don't care as much about, sad to say, but they will spend 80% of their day going and building a paycheck so they can live the rest, the 20% of their day with the people they love the most. Okay, that's average. And they're not happy. I encourage you, if you are someone who works full-time, on your way to work tomorrow, look at the cars around you and the people. Do they look ecstatic about life? Do they look like they're living with purpose? Are they joyful and happy? Most likely, the majority of them are just doing what they have to get by, and they'll do it again the next day, and they'll do it again the next day. You guys, what I want you to understand is that's the very reason that average people are not going to understand when you share with them the magnitude of what this business can be and do for them, at least not at first glance. That's why average people aren't typically the ones that are real supportive when you start something like this, because average people do not want other people to outdo them. Okay? Misery loves company. Average people won't stretch themselves or challenge themselves to do different so they can have something different. Average people give up easily. When the going gets tough, they're out of there. right? Average people won't embrace a new way of thinking. You guys, I want you to understand that. So when you're sharing with Arbonne with people and they don't quite get it, first of all, don't give up on them, because average people can change. They can change their way of thinking. But if they are not supportive initially and they don't understand what it is you're offering them, give them the benefit of the doubt and move on. Don't allow someone else to steal your dream from the palm of your hand. Don't give your power over to someone else. Okay? If they aren't offering you something bigger and better than what you are sharing with them, then you know what? Move on. Okay? Look for people who are people of excellence, people that are willing to stretch themselves, challenge themselves, and help other people do the same. I want you to be abnormal. I want to dare each one of you to be abnormal. I encourage you to live big with ambition and a zest for life. And when you join us on these calls and the meetings that we get to have and we get to spend that time together, you see people who are like-minded. You see people with a new skip in their step. You see people that have a new purpose and meaning for their life, who are ambitious, right? That's what you're going to find in Arbonne. You find people that are living with purpose because they understand and they know that they were meant for more. They refuse to settle, and they understand that change starts with them. They also understand the importance of mastering their time, right? Like Bonnie said, they've learned how to master their time. The private moments are what create the public victories. So when no one else is looking, they're the ones that are maybe setting themselves apart to spend concentrated time sharpening their skills and getting better at what it is they need to do in order to move themselves closer to their goals and their dreams, right? That's what these calls do. You setting aside this time, pulling yourself apart, and investing in yourself is going to get you closer to your goals and dreams. That's mastering your time in those private moments. And people who are abnormal, you guys, are overcomers. They don't accept defeat. They rise above life circumstances and they refuse to have a victim mentality regardless. And they go out and they create reasons for doing what they're doing instead of excuses not to do it, right? That's what abnormal people do. So you guys have a choice to make with this amazing business opportunity that we all call Arbonne, you guys. Arbonne is going to, number one, fund you. It's going to be able to fund you towards the goals and dreams that you have for your family financially. It's going to be able to grow you and stretch you in ways that you haven't even thought about. And I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to read about our very own Rachel Holland in the newsletter Spotlight that Tammy put out this last week, but I could not get through it without tears flowing. But it talked about how she is not the same person today that she was 2 years ago when she first signed up with Arbonne, and how grateful she is to not be the shy, reserved person in the corner at a meeting. But now she is one who leads and leads beautifully in the front. And you guys, this business will do that for you. It will grow you. It will challenge you because we do not grow without a challenge, right? If it was easy, you know what? Everybody would do it. But we are here to sharpen and stretch and challenge one another because that's what creates greatness. This business will prepare you. It will prepare you for those goals, right? And equip you for those goals that you have. It will sharpen you and it will give you a new purpose and meaning. I got the pleasure of talking to Dan and Jennifer today. We had her first presentation over Zoom, and she's out of Idaho. So I was visiting with her and her husband, and they were talking about, well, what do you do at this level now? You know, do you do mostly training? And there's Jennifer. I said, she said, what do you do at this level? And I said, well, I do a lot of training, but I still do my personal activity because I cannot ever see myself not doing the personal activity, because there are too many people out there that need to hear what it is that I have to share and offer them. Right? I have a new purpose and a new meaning in life. People that are at the tippity top of this business, that are in the top 10 income earners making 6 figures a month in this business, are still out there sharing Arbonne with other people when they could be on a beach somewhere, and without a cell phone and a care in the world. But instead, they choose to continue to share this business and these products with people, because they have learned that it is not just a business, it is a purpose. It has meaning behind it. And they are on fire about changing people's lives, financially and certainly over with their health. You guys, this business gives you purpose and it gives you meaning like nothing else that I have ever known. So I want to encourage you guys to be more so you can have more. Be willing to stretch yourself and put yourself out there. Be willing to be persistent, consistent, and resilient, and committed to your goals and your vision that you have. That's going to allow you to go out there and have more so you can give more to others. And when you do that, when you are more than who you are today, and you have more and can give more, you guys, the result is you get to live more. Your life will be so much more full and fulfilling, and you're going to be able to do that for somebody else. They're going to be able to live a life with meaning and purpose and carry that torch to someone else, and that torch to someone else. You guys, we change this world one person at a time. That's what we get to do, and I hope you fully can grasp that. Here's our last slide, you guys, and it's just kind of I saw this as an image when I was doing my research on this particular training, and I thought this summarized exactly what we talked about today. So I want to end with this. See your goal, understand the obstacles. There are going to be ups and downs. That's why we need resilience. Create a positive mental picture, your vision in your mind. Clear your mind of self-doubt, right? You've got to be persistent with a do it no matter what it takes attitude. You've got to embrace challenge, stay on track, right? And show the world, you guys, that you can do it. Be the proof of what's possible in this business we get to call Arbonne. So in closing, I want to share with you guys, as I do on all of our Sunday night calls, our team declaration. It's one of my most favorite things to get to do with all of you, because I feel like it's our time to honestly not just link our arms, but to link our hearts, our minds, and our purpose as we go out and share what we have to offer with people. So tonight's declaration says, we declare unexpected blessings are coming our way. We will move forward from barely making it to making more than enough. God will open up supernatural doors for us. He will speak to the right people about us. We will see Ephesians 3:20 exceedingly abundantly above and beyond favor and increase in our life. This is our team declaration. Thank you guys for sharing your time with me tonight, as well as sharing your time with all of our other team members. I know they are equally excited to have this time together with like-minded individuals where we can learn from each other and spend this time together. I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share, and then if any of you have questions, feel free to unmute, or if you have comments, you can either do that in the chat section at the bottom, or you can unmute to share. So otherwise, I hope you guys have a great night, a great start to your April. Please reach out to your sponsor or your area manager and allow them the opportunity and the blessing of helping you get that goal to match your vision, and to create an action plan to help you hit your goals. So let's make sure we do that this week. I love you guys. Have a great week, and we'll look forward to sharing this time again next week. Does anybody have a comment or question?
Hey, Vicki, it's Melanie. I loved it. Thank you for so many good reminders. Tammy needs to let you do this on a Wednesday night.
Thank you, Mel. I tell you, it was definitely one of those that once I got the topic, it's like God just completely unraveled it to me. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you for sharing that.